It's a good song.
It's a good song.
It's a good
Yeah,
song.
it was a good find.
Were those the lyrics?
Yeah.
No, there are actually.
There are lyrics
There are
to that
lyrics.
song.
I don't know what they
I
are.
don't.
Who cares?
What?
I care
No,
about
it's
the
like
song.
I'm a little bit cuckoo,
Yeah,
baby.
I'm a little bit crazy.
Yeah, it's
Some
about
shit
being
like
crazy and cuckoo and
Oh,
stuff.
that sort of represents us today.
It
Yeah,
does.
I picked that song.
Hi, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Yo, what's
movie
up?
house.
This is off topic.
Merry
No, it's the day after
Christmas.
Christmas.
Day after Christmas. Hope you had a good
It's
Christmas.
Happy New
Obviously,
Year.
you're
This
watching
is
this
Santa.
immediately.
Santa's on vacation.
We have a bunch of leftover rum and egg.
Leftover and unopened. Hey, how you doing? Wait, when those numbers get there? I'm your host, Michael. We've got Jeremy,
Hi.
Fiona, Jack. Trevor was here and he left to take a phone call
did.
as soon as we started.
That was so
Jack's outraged
dramatic.
by it. And then, shockingly, he fell.
Oh, God, this is small.
No, it's not.
You just have
I feel like it's ripping my eyes open.
Jack, you look like you're about to pummel Fiona.
That's
Just
all
like,
I want you to be on Christmas
Just
morning.
look at this. Damn, dude, your beard's getting
It's like an immediate facelift.
Your face is actually relaxed right now. That's your thumbnail.
I
That's
tried.
it.
You're gonna make a good Santa, Jack. I feel like
your
you'll
cat.
get.
Yeah, you said that before.
your
You said that
cats.
before.
You literally
This is so tight.
look like a
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but,
Shove his finger in
if you can shove your wrinkles up into it.
that's
Yeah.
true. I can look so
and you'll
much
look like
younger.
Keep your
you're
face.
awake. You know?
I've already started taping.
Look how young he
Look
looks.
at me. Look how
And I go
excited I am.
this,
Look
and
how
then you
young
put-
he
And then I
is.
put tape under my ears.
I feel like I'm 20
And that's how you
again.
look younger.
That's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
The tapes?
there
Yeah.
are tape lifts.
People put just tape.
I see
and you,
tapes,
and
they
you
put
go
them
like,
on
you
the
pull them all
eyes.
back.
And then
and
you
they
just
put
tape
'em
like the
here.
back of your head.
Oh my God,
they
Joan
look
Rivers
like-
is here.
Hi guys.
Oh God.
She's dead.
Tape lift.
Well, yeah, look at him.
That's a tape.
Hi everybody, Merry
surprised you guys-
Christmas.
Merry
about that.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You're surprised that we know
cunt.
that
How official is Urban Dictionary?
It's official.
pretty official.
Oh,
It's
okay,
like, it's
then
like
I'm good.
Webster's and then Urban.
Just
Yeah,
checking
when
off
it
his
comes to the
male
top five,
masturbation, Jilling off.
that's what I
Chilling off. I've never heard of that.
Linda, let me
Linda.
read
Oh,
this.
I need an example.
Yeah,
I
let me
need
give you an example.
Linda Hamilton?
Huh? I don't know.
Like
know who that is.
in the
Linda-
Oscar-winning movie
We're
Black
just
Swan.
looking up Linda examples.
Here's it in a sentence. I learned to start knocking after I walked in on my roommate, violently jilling off with her vibrator.
Violently?
Violent.
Has any of you-
What does that mean?
Have any of you
violently?
violently jilled off before?
I don't
This is a much
So-
better sentence. Males jack off and females jill off.
I don't
sentence.
understand the violent part.
do you not scream when you masturbate?
Scream!
Ah! Ah! That's not normal.
Is it in bursts or is that when you
For me,
finish?
It's in
always-
bursts.
A little.
There it is.
Jesus.
Example, I was bored at
You
home
don't
and my
need to
boyfriend was out of
show
town,
it.
so I started jilling off.
I'm surprised. I'm glad to know that for you, is the blood.
All right.
Saying.
Let's read this
On the
definition.
screen, violent masturbation. popped up.
High-speed jerking or pounding items into vagina as hard as you
Excuse
can. Not into a vagina, into vagina as hard as you can without being able to control or stop.
What the
Is that
hell?
how you spell nympho? Also,
Usually continues until eruption of bodily fluids
What?
and ends with swelling
Excuse
and
me?
delicate skin tearing of the genitals and or surrounding
That's
areas.
where the blood comes
Known
in.
as the best
What?
kind of masturbation / solo sex, can also include anal self-penetration.
Oh.
It's an
What?
action verb.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Wait.
It's an action.
For you guys at home, well-known squirters, violent masturbators, porn stars include Jada Fire, can't pronounce that, Andy
Cythera.
Cruz,
Emil Waters.
Emil Waters. So make sure to check their content
And
out.
etc.
Yeah, who's Cythera? That sounds like a disease.
But
sounds
you
like a
know.
disease. It
sounds
Also,
like I
Nympho's
caught-
definitely
I caught
spelled wrong.
Cythera.
Yeah.
What the
And
fuck did I
there's-
just read?
Throw this away because World of Warcraft is not
Yeah.
there.
What the hell?
She's not wrong.
What's going on?
She's not
What the fuck's going on?
She might be. She had
Go
half
on.
I don't like looking
She
at
had a
that.
corner here.
That makes
I
me
didn't
feel
want it.
like nuts.
I didn't
Stop
want
it.
it.
That's like when you get drunk in GTA.
Yeah, oh, that's,
It looked like that Mr. Krabs meme where he was like,
Oh, when it's like when it does like the
I was
blurred
gonna say
zoom
that.
on him, and
I
he's
was
like,
gonna say that.
no, you weren't.
I was gonna say that, Mr. Krabs.
he was picturing that.
The thing, Jack, I love you saying
I love you too,
things.
Fiona.
No, I love when you say things. You say, oh, let's do this, and then you don't do it, and you expect someone else to do it.
It's
Yeah.
called
And then-
directing and
And
producing.
then,
Yeah.
and then you're shocked that it didn't happen.
and then he does the shocked Pikachu.
It happened. It happened yesterday because he said we should get barbecue. He does not tell Sarah one thing. He doesn't tell anyone.
He sent it to the room.
He doesn't. He says it in a room,
You have
and
to
then at
understand.
the end of the video, he's like, "Where's the barbecue?" I'm like, "Did you want God to
he
just
like
Fiona-
send
he
over
takes
the
his controller and goes, Accio, barbecue.
barbecue?"
You have to understand, as an elderly white male, I expect things to happen when I say
I
it.
understand.
So, I mean,
Diamond shower.
It is. Oh no.
When you
Diamond
shit
sh-
on your partner for sexual pleasure. Because a golden shower is when you pee on someone, so a diamond shower is when you shit on someone. Fiona.
yeah.
Fiona.
Tag
Throw a
shit, golden shower,
Sorry,
and diamond.
throw hashtag World of Warcraft on there
Yeah,
too.
put the hashtag. on.
Someone do that.
It's not official until
Just a
okay.
wee
And by the
line.
end of this podcast, he's gonna look for that.
Yeah.
Someone have that hashtag
Someone
on
have it
there.
done.
Well, they
Or else-
won't,
or
'cause
else
this
you-
isn't live, so.
Well,
Eric, get on it.
When that happened. Was it in season 2? It was so long ago, but that's when you were like throwing up on the side of that
That's when I threw up on
building.
the side of the building.
We just like flew to Philly.
Yep. It was.
Stopped,
It was.
immediately ate cheesecakes, and Jeremy was throwing up in it. Like
I
in
woke
an
up at
alley.
4 a.m. to get on the flight to Philly.
Because what the hell was the night before?
It was.
What
It was
was
the
it?
live off topic downtown.
What it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was the first time that I had like a lot of alcoholic beverages after losing all the weight I lost.
Yeah.
Oh, so it hit you hard.
Yeah, and I was in the bathroom at the location, and Michael came into the
Oh, and dragged
location
him
to
back
try to
on
get me back
stage.
out because the show's still going. And I kept saying to Michael, like, I'm not the man I used to be. Like in the stall, I was like, I'm not who I was, Mike.
Forget who you knew.
Don't look at me.
And then like Eric helped Kat get my car, like so that she could get me home or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then I flew out, and then I woke up, you know, in the tub, and then like, you know, slept for like another hour or two. Woke up to go to the airport, and I was like, all right, I feel good. It's passed me by and everything like that. Got to the airport, Admirals Club, threw up like 2 or 3 times. Like I got there, Ryan was there, and then you got there.
I got there and Ryan was there, and I was like, "Oh, you're the only one here." He's like, "Jeremy's here. He's in the bathroom. He doesn't feel so good." I'm like,
Yep.
"Oh, that makes sense." And we sat there talking for like 15, 20 minutes, and I was just like, "So he's here? He's here?" And he was just like, "Must be. It's bad."
It's bad. And then I got there.
Jeremy came out for like 2 minutes, and then you went back in the
And
bathroom.
I went back in the bathroom. Then we got on the plane. I threw up 3 times on the plane.
Oh.
And then
Is this coming back or going?
going there.
This is in the Austin airport.
How'd
Yeah.
you have that much in your stomach?
I didn't. It was just
Ugh.
stuff kept
Well,
coming. It was like the acid
bile.
after a bit.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
bile.
it was like your
stomach
body,
goo.
like
My body was like, you're
you-
dying.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
dieted, you toned down.
Yeah.
I'm sure you ate more healthy, and so like this was like a poison foreign substance that your body kind of like you hadn't had it for
Mm-hmm.
a while. Because I know you go back and forth like when you diet, you don't drink. So I'm sure it just really hit your system hard.
Yeah.
So like it acted as if you were sick because it's like it is.
And
a
then like I
poison.
kept trying to drink Gatorade, and like Michael took a sick bag off the plane as well. We both
I did.
had
I was
sick
in
bags, so-
parent mode. I was like, I gotta. sit
Yeah.
back.
So we had a couple
I sat
bags.
down and immediately took.
We
one
get in the
back.
rented.
Yeah.
We get in the rented car, and we're like, okay, it's like an hour to the hotel or whatever, and
We had to
I'm
drive
like,
a ways.
I'm like, oh, like at least I'm gonna get to the hotel and then I'll go to my room and like get in the and just like at least I'll be in a room like in a bed, and if I need to go to the bathroom, there's a nice bathroom, not an airplane bathroom and stuff. And they're like, let's get subs. Like it was like
Cheesesteaks along the way.
cheesesteaks. It was
And
and
Jeremy's just in the car going.
it's like 45 minutes in the other direction from
Plug
the
up that
hotel.
vomit
And
chute.
but I wasn't gonna go. No, don't do that. I need to go to the hotel. So I was like, go for it. So I just sat in the car with like my head in the bag.
Oh my
and then we got to like the place. I like threw up on the side of a building.
On the side of
I
the
didn't get any
building.
subs.
I mean,
'cause
it was just
couldn't.
like a neighborhood.
yeah.
We parked on the street parking. We were walking to the place, and it was just like, it's not really like an alley, but it was almost like a yard.
It was far more open than an alley.
Like behind just like a stone building, and we're just like standing there as Jeremy's going,
And then I kept like turning to yell at Gavin, and then I'd throw up and yell at Gavin on the
there's a
building.
clip I have where it's like Jeremy's head against the wall, sick, and then like, yeah, this is like in Philly, and somebody was driving down the street like blasting some kind of fucking like, it was some crazy music, like polka music or something.
yeah.
Some wild music, and Gavin and I start going like in the street. Jeremy gets off from the building, walks over, starts going, and you literally see his face go. And then walk back to the
All I
building.
wanted to do was make good content.
He like jiggled twice and was like,
Oh, dude.
And then they got their subs. We went back in the car, head back in the bag, got to the
We went to
hotel.
2 places too.
Yeah, they went to both the
We went to
cheesesteak
one
places.
cheesesteak place,
it.
and then we went to another one because we had to compare.
Yeah, and I wasn't, and like I wanted those steaks so bad, but I was like, I can't do it.
Listen.
Speaking of the support room, this morning we got a message in Slack that was like, "Hey, there's Christmas cookies in the support room if you want
okay.
Christmas."
Oh yeah, this
How
is
long
good.
did those
Okay, what
survive?
happened?
Well, it's just like the message came across in the Slack. It was at this point, it was I think just me and Ryan. I think you showed up while I was out, and I was like, oh, I'll go take a look at these cookies or something. And I got up and walked out. Wasn't even at the door to the support room yet, and I just can hear like on the other side of the door, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I just hear screaming on the other side, and I open it up, and it's Kent, and his hands are in the air, and he's like, I've been here talking to you for 45 minutes, Jacob, and you don't tell me there's cookies here. So I'm like, and Kent was just losing it, like screaming. I walk in, and he's just yelling,
going
and he goes and grabs some
on?
cookies, and I'm like, Kent, is everything okay? And he's like, I've been up since 6 a.m. I want cookies. And he just like took some cookies. I was like, Kent, man. Kent, you need to sit down, dude. You need a nap.
Oh man.
Around
How
the
old
same
is? I
time.
wonder how old Santa is in terms of when Santa was first. If you're a kid, I wonder how old Santa is. If you're not a kid, when was Santa invented?
Well, it depends on the lore behind Santa. Are we going like the Tim Allen Santa, where it's like Santa dies and a new
I don't
Santa
think
takes
so.
no,
over?
no,
We're just
I'm
talking
going
about
of like the
real
original
life.
person that went.
Klaus fucker.
There was something
or
that goes
whatever.
down your chimney.
Yeah.
I don't think that ever happened. I don't think that chimney thing ever happened.
No, I don't mean like a real life one that went down the chimney. I mean like when did the story first get told?
Well, maybe you should just go to church. I think they explain it.
I don't
True.
think so.
Church is exactly
Nope.
where.
St. Nicholas.
Oh, there he is.
All right.
Was born in an unknown. I already hate this.
I hate
Was
this.
born in an unknown month.
They got the year though, right? How do you get the exact year? But we don't know
Despite
what month.
being an immortal Dima angel, born of an angel
I hate
father
what
and a
you put
human
on our
mother,
screen.
Santa is vulnerable to his evil twin brother Claudius.
Saint Nick technically died on Saint Nicholas Day. He's
Wow.
dead.
A heavenly requirement to prove himself worthy of his father Christmas powers. What?
I mean, like, I also like that.
What is this, a fanfic?
Claudius,
it
who
says-
became later known as the notorious
hey,
Anti-Claus,
he got resurrected.
dispatched Nicholas in a rage-filled fit of jealousy.
He got resurrected.
Anti-Claus.
He got
It's like Bizarro.
Angelic forces led by Santa's father, Sarandil, intervened and resurrected Nicholas as Santa Claus on Christmas Day, December 25th, 343 AD.
I never knew Santa had so much lore.
Oh,
That is amazing.
Is Santa an anime character?
It's a comic book character. is what we
Imagine an
established.
anime of Santa Claus. Amazing. That's good.
Lord.
That's good.
I mean, to be
That's
fair,
good
you asked
content.
and they answered.
That's true. They had
It's
that
like a
ready to go.
negative Santa, Anti-Claus.
Anti-Claus.
And he just goes, oh.
Well
man.
played.
That's so
Well, there's your title for the episode
Oh,
right there.
And what's
Oh,
funny
no.
too is when people see that title and they start watching, when we get to the violent masturbation,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what they'll think.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's where the title's
That's where the
from.
title's
They'll wait until the-
An hour and a half later, I'm like, oh, I got it now.
Oh. Blood.
That's
Gotcha.
Gotta love it.
We did that video that just came out where we went to the mall and we,
Oh, yeah.
we got those presents
Yeah.
for it was like
Someone else's best day ever.
Yeah, it was
basically.
like a charity where, like in need kids had like their names and like their clothes sizes and like,
their wants and
like
stuff for
gifts they would
Christmas, yeah.
like for Christmas, and we went and picked a bunch and then just did like a 2-team thing split up. But like the number of comments that they were like, whoa, they're just like out in a mall. It's just like bizarre.
Weird that they're
like
outside.
they're just normal people walking
Yeah.
around.
That was the thing.
Funny
Yeah.
thing about
We were
that,
somewhere right
We
there.
were right here when he was jumping.
funny thing about that is, so we did that, and myself, Jeremy, Trevor, and Alfredo ended up taking a picture with Santa
Oh yeah.
while we were there. And that's the end of the video. It's just like it just shows you that still of that picture we took. So like probably within a week of that, Lindsay and I went back to take the kids to see Santa at that mall. And we had just seen Santa, and there's like a trap right next to him. It's like a bunch of fucking toys and
That's
shit
they
to
get the elves.
trick your fucking to piss your kid off, essentially is what it
Yeah.
is. And then they'll get mad if you don't buy them something. So it's like Iris was just playing with a bunch of shit, and I'm just like, well, I'm not buying you shit.
Yeah.
So like we ended up, I did the thing where like I took Luna away, which might encourage Iris to be like, Lindsay's like, oh look, they're leaving. We gotta go catch up to them. So I was like, I'm just gonna go over here. You diffuse this situation. You know, we'll get ready to like exit. So I walked off, and as I'm just like, I had both strollers, and I'm like 10 into Luna. A couple kids came by, like they were just walking through the mall, and one of them was like, Michael? I'm like, yeah, hey, what's up? And he was like, you know, he saw I was there with my kid, obviously, and he was just like, oh, hey, big fan, you know, I don't want to bother you, you know, hey, nice to meet you. I'm like, okay, cool, and he left. And then I saw later that day or the next day, he replied to the Achievement Hunter post of our video at the mall with Santa, and he was like, I watched this video, and then I went to that mall, and then I saw Michael at that mall. And I was like, that's wild. like so 30 feet from Santa. He just like watched it and was like, cool, holy shit, he's still here.
Like, I love running into fans in really weird places because it's always like so bizarre for them. When I went home recently,
it always blows people's minds.
I went home for Thanksgiving.
Especially home. All the time people go, what are you doing in New Jersey? I'm like, well, I'm from here.
But like I went home for Thanksgiving, right? And like, yeah, that happens like in Burlington sometimes, Burlington, Massachusetts sometimes. But like when I was there, my friends are like, hey, we're going out for one of our friends' birthday. Like, do you want to come? And I was like, yeah, where are you going? They're like, oh, we're going to a brewery in New Hampshire. And I was like, sure. So I like went with them to a brewery like up like right on the New Hampshire, Massachusetts line. And I'm just like in this random bar, and I was like waiting in line for a drink and looked over and saw someone, and they were like holding a drink, and they looked at me and went, like, it's like, and I just watched them stare at me for the longest time before I like, you know, motioned to them, and that they couldn't believe that I was like in this random, it was like really middle of nowhere type place too. It was awesome.
Katie's from Western Sydney, basically like the sort of super rural area of Sydney, way out west. And I was out there one time, like visiting her family, and it was her and I I think we went with a friend to go see a movie while we were out there, and we're just wandering around like this little shopping center, and some guy's like, Jack, I'm like, hey, what's up? He goes, what the fuck are you doing here? It's like the other side of the planet, out in this weird like small town Australia, and he's like that's got to be shocking.
Haunter does that to us.
Yeah.
God. I used to go on all the Haunter shoots. I'd walk around. I like get to the hotel, and then I'd go walk for like an hour and a half, like just to walk around the city and be like, oh, this is where we are. But sometimes we're in buttfuck nowhere, Alabama. Right, like I think it was the Sawmill episode or something, like you know, and I was just walking around, and they were like, there's a mall next to the hotel, and I'm like, okay, I'll go in there and get a corn dog or something. And like I went walking through it, and someone saw me in the middle of the mall, and that was the first time. Like I think the question, "What are you doing here?" was very legitimate. I was like, I understand this looks weird.
That's funny.
There's like 2 people in the mall. I was like,
just like tumbleweeds.
Like I was reading what to do in this area, and they're like, "There's a mall," and I went there. I was like, empty, and I was like, "Sweet." Fucking town center, hell yeah.
Whoa! Is it going?
No.
Oh.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next
If someone would have plugged it in,
I mean, I would.
I'm a white guy.
See you for the post show.
Make it happen.
Someone plug this in.
And get
Why is it not plugged in?
Where's the bar?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Did you do it?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.